Hello and welcome to week 3 of my 52 weeks of fashion flat sketching tips in Adobe Illustrator, one for every week of the year. This is Ludmilla Adams with Fashion Chalkboard, and here's what you're going to learn today. So we have a dress right here that has a bunch of ruffles cascading to the sides. What we're going to do today is learn how to rotate the print. So it is assumed that you know how to put the print in there, so I'm going to just briefly touch on that and then I'll show you how to rotate it. And then a quick tip today will also be how to make the fold look darker, so you would have to create like a print in a darker color, and in the past it used to take a lot of time, but today it won't. So let's look at how people sometimes create their flat looking sketches that are a little bit boring. So here you can see I have a flat sketch that looks a little bit boring. I added in steps kind of what we did in week 1, which is we added some lines to add movement with a profile. Week 2 we added little triangles to make it look more realistic. And then today in week 3 I'll show you how to get from there to what we have on the plate today, which is adding rotation in the print and changing the print to a different color. As always, this file is available in the free member section of fashionchalkboard.com, so go ahead and download this file before we begin, and you can take this apart and see how I've done this, or if you have your own file, obviously go ahead and try this out with your own prints maybe that you created. And also, if you have any questions, put them in the video section below, and hashtag flatsketch52 on Instagram so I can see what you guys are doing with these tips. Alright, so first of all, let's go to Window and open up Swatches. So that's where our print is. And right here you can see that as soon as I click on one of these sections, that it highlights in my, as long as my fill is on top, in my swatch palette, where exactly this print is located in the swatches. So let me go back to the flat looking sketch. So the first thing that I want you to notice is that I grouped the flat sketch. Actually right here it's not, so that's perfect. So whether it's grouped like I did on possibly your download, you might want to click on it and check for that. And all you need to do is click on it, and then obviously go to Object, Ungroup. And all we need to do is pretty much have the ability to click on one of these objects. Notice how I draw all of these pieces separately. And that gives me the ability to then rotate in each of these individual pieces to a different direction, which gives the garment itself more movement. In order to do this, all I need to do is activate the piece that I want to rotate, and then I go to my rotate tool, and then there's a little key on your keyboard. It's on top of your tab, and it's a little wiggly line. It's called tilde. So you press tilde, and then you rotate with your mouse, and once I let go, you can see how that print rotated. Now let's look at the difference. If I don't hold down tilde and I'm in my rotate tool, it will actually rotate the piece of the flat sketch. So the shortcut that's sort of magical is allowing you to rotate only the inside of the object. So let's do it for a different piece. So for example, down here, I'd like this print to rotate into a different direction. So once again, I activate the piece with my selection tool. Sometimes you can also go into your direct selection tool if it's still grouped, and then switch to your rotate tool, press tilde, hold it down while you rotate gently with your mouse, and that's how you get a little bit of variation here. Let's do the same on the back. Press tilde, rotate tool, and click and drag into the direction that you want your print to go, and let go, and then you'll see the change. Once again without tilde, and I'm undoing with Control or Command and Z. Alright, so let's practice that a little bit. Maybe pause the video before I move on to the next step. It's another tip. Sometimes the way this looks, it's already good enough, but I like to add some color variation in here. And there's obviously millions of different ways of doing it, or maybe not millions, but a couple. But the way that I like to do it is now fairly quick to do, which is I can just select a couple of pieces that I think are like the underside of something. And I'm just holding down Shift as I'm clicking. Well, the first one I just click, and the second one I hold down Shift. And then we have something called Recolor Artwork, and a long way of finding this is going to edit colors, recolor artwork. And if you don't have this option, I'm sorry, your Illustrator is kind of old. This recolor artwork panel comes up right here, and I'm gonna have tons of videos in the future on how to really work and have a lot of fun with this and just the powerful ways that this can help you. But for now, all we need to do is go to this little button called Edit. There's actually a slider on the bottom here, and when we move the slider lower, this means it's going to become darker. And notice how immediately we can preview this right here. So make sure that you actually have this recolor art checked, which is like your preview, and you can see how if I slide this up, my print becomes lighter. And if I slide this down, it becomes significantly darker, which is a little bit too much. So just kind of play with this to your liking. Maybe you just want a hint, almost not noticeable. The other thing that happens is notice that I'm going to just do a lighter one just because I want you guys to see what happens here, which is once I press OK, Illustrator will actually create the print in the new colorway for you and add it into your swatch box. So let's just press OK. And right there is now your print in a new color combination. So if I added a box here with this print, you can see that it has the new colorway and the original ones right here. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned a lot. If you already knew this, well, wait for one of my future videos. This is marked intermediate. I would say that it's easy to intermediate. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comment sections. Thank you. And click